Alrighty, here we go. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching this webinar on how to scrub EOBs and appeal denials. There's no audio taping or video taping allowed. I've made every attempt to make certain that the information in this presentation is 100% accurate. However, it's not guaranteed. The information in this presentation is for educational purposes. We're not a law firm, so don't hold us to any legal stuff. Tell you a little bit about myself for those of you that don't know me. I am a chiropractor. My name is Dr. Marty Kotler. I practiced for many years, for 16 years, and about 12 years ago I decided I want to start a company and help doctors with coding and compliance because in my practice I got really good at it. My first 12 years in practice was chiro only. Then I went into multi-specialty practice, MD, DC, PT, learned a lot about that, started writing articles to Chiropractic Economics and other magazines. They started publishing my articles. I started getting calls from chiropractors all over the country asking me for my advice. I said, you know what? I like this. I'm going to sell my practice and I'm going to start a consulting company. I didn't know what I was doing. Just like when I started practice, I didn't really know what I was doing. Took me a couple of years to figure it out. I went for my certifications in compliance. You see that first one there, the CPCO, Certified Professional Compliance Officer. Very proud of that. I'm also a certified billing and coding specialist. Now, some people look at me as like, oh, Marty Kotler, he's the insurance guy. I'm not the insurance guy. I am the compliance guy. My goal is to make sure that you are billing and coding properly and you are maximizing reimbursement, not only for insurance patients, but for cash patients. I've also written many billing and coding manuals, not only for chiropractors, but for physical therapists, massage therapists, and acupuncturists. I still write articles to many of the publications in our profession. I'm a guest speaker at many state association conventions nationwide. All right, that's a little bit about myself. Now, let's get into how to scrub EOBs and appeal denials. So here's one of the most, I'm going to go through about 15 of the most common denials that you will get in the mail or electronically from insurance companies. And my goal here is to educate you to maximize reimbursement. I want to show you how to make as much money as possible. A lot of doctors call us here at Target Coding and say, hey, I am busier this year compared to last year, but I'm making less money. I could tell you a lot of the things that cause that are going to be addressed in this webinar. So you're in for a treat. But you may get this. This is probably the most common denial. You'll see the care was not medically necessary. You know, this is this vague response. You send in your notes, you send in your claims, it comes back not medically necessary, and your CA takes a look at it, and he or she, they don't know what to do. Show it to the doctor doesn't know what to do. So then what? It ends up being unpaid, and now you just lost money, and that leads to unhappiness. So you want to find out, why was it not medically necessary? It's illegal for an insurance company to deny your claim and just say it's not medically necessary. They have to give you a reason. In network or out of network, you are entitled to a specific reason. Now, I've seen Medicare deny doctors for not medically necessary because they didn't sign the notes. What? How do you connect the dots on that one? Because the doctor didn't sign the notes? The care is not medically necessary. So there are many reasons why insurance companies will give this vague term. And if you don't find out why, you see, that one with Medicare is easy to overturn. You can send in a signature attestation, and that's it. That's the end of it. So some of these not medically necessary denials that you get are easily overturned, and some of them you are not going to be able to because you messed up because of some of the reasons here. Take a look. These are the specific reasons why you will get this not medically necessary EOB. Number one, not enough improvement. Your notes don't show that the patient is improving. Look at your notes. Make sure you can prove that the patient is improving. Functional limitations have been met. Yeah, you're treating the patient and they're coming in saying, I'm fine. Procedures have been not been proven to be effective. Yeah, you know what? I've seen some carriers deny that for electrical stim. Electrical stim is not effective. What? What are you talking about? That's what I tell the adjusters when I'm on the battle lines. You see, I battle the insurance companies on behalf of my clients. I call the insurance companies. Our staff calls the insurance companies on behalf of our clients because many of our clients, they don't have the time, they don't have the wherewithal to communicate with these insurance adjusters. So we do it for them. I've called insurance investigators on behalf of my clients. So if you don't know how to discuss this and get these overturned easily, then you're going to be losing a lot of money. So if you get denied, well, your electrical stim is being denied because its electrical stim is not proven effective. What? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. That one gets overturned easily. Goals have not been established. Yeah, that's one of the biggest ones doctors miss out on. They're not creating goals. The doctor creates goals. Well, my goal is to help the patient get out of pain. That's not a goal. I want to help the patient improve bending, lifting, reaching, carrying, throwing. That's garbage. That ain't going to get you anywhere. Notes appear as the care's maintenance. Time component is missing. You're not using the right modifiers. You're failing to document the specific subluxation levels. Yeah, you don't do that for Medicare. Bye-bye. You ain't getting paid. The notes are not legible. No signature. So this medical necessity denial, so here I want to clear something up quickly. What's the difference between medical necessity and chiropractic wellness care? If a patient walks into your office, they may have called the insurance company prior to coming in, and they may say, hey, does my insurance cover chiropractic? And the insurance company is going to say, yes, as long as it's medically necessary. Or you're covered for 20 visits as long as it's medically necessary. What did the patient hear? I'm covered. I get 20 visits. This is where you have to educate the patient. But here, this is a slide. I'm trying to, just simplify it for you. Medical necessity means insurance payable. Wellness care is not payable. Now, I could tell you there are more and more insurance companies that are now paying for chiropractic maintenance. I used to say, oh, nobody pays for maintenance. There are a few out there that are starting to pay for maintenance. So now what? If you're getting $50 cash for your wellness adjustment and the patient goes, well, bill my insurance. I heard they pay. And now they pay $24. Now what? You're not going to be happy, right? You just lost money. Stop losing money. Acute treatment is medically necessary. Patient has pain, restricted motion, decreased ADLs. That's payable. Patient has very little pain. Range of motion is good. They're doing their ADLs. Stop billing insurance. If you keep billing and getting paid, you're going to have a problem. Performance enhancing care is not payable. So make sure you know the difference between medical necessity and wellness care. Now, what is medical necessity? It depends who you ask. Don't ask your friends. Don't ask your CAs. Ask the insurance companies that you're billing, unless it's a cash patient. So Aetna says, yeah, chiropractic care is medically necessary, but you got to follow their guidelines. They tell you what's the difference between medical necessity and wellness care. I could tell you most of the doctors, even the doctors that I'm helping with that are being audited, they don't read the policies from the insurance company they're billing. I'm working with a doctor right now. He's being audited for $400,000. I asked him, did you ever read the payment policy from this company that you've been collecting millions of dollars from the past few years? No, I don't know what their policy is. You see how that's not a good business decision. That's not smart. It's not smart. You want to be smart in business, right? Here, this is from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. If you are from Chicago or Illinois and you have patients with this plan, you better read this because there's some major limitations. And now we have, what is the definition of medical necessity? Here you go. This is from CMS. Long description. Blue Cross Blue Shield, yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield covers chiropractic, but it has to be in relation to a treatment plan. Do you have a treatment plan put together? It's not a big deal. Don't get overwhelmed. A lot of the things that I tell you are simple. It may seem overwhelmed. Like when I watch a cooking show, and they go, oh, we're going to make this chicken dish. It's so simple. It doesn't seem simple to me in the beginning, but then I watch them, I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. Same thing with target coding. You might think something is complicated. Most of the solutions are simple. You just got to know what they are. Got to learn. Got to be a sponge. Keep learning. What's maintenance care? Again, it depends who you ask. You ask Medicare, Medicare says it's services that seek to prevent disease, promote health, prevent deterioration of a chronic condition. You would think that's a good thing, right? They should pay for that. Now, I will categorize every single man, woman, and child that comes into your office into two categories. Every single man, woman, and child, every patient that comes into your office, you need to do this. You need to place them into one of these two categories. There's no third category. This is it. Category 1, active care. The patient has pain, discomfort, restricted motion. This is something that insurance pays for, or the patient pays cash. Or the patient is in that maintenance wellness stage. That's cash. Don't get caught in the middle. A lot of you out there listening to this, you're billing insurance for services that are probably wellness maintenance care. Or if it's not wellness maintenance care, what you're typing into the system, into your ChiroTouch and ACOM software and all the other softwares out there, and there's a few good ones that I endorse. You want to send me an email, I'll let you know which ones I like. But whatever software program you're using out there, if you are typing in bad stuff, the patient may qualify for active treatment, but your notes look like it's maintenance care, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have to give back money. You're going to have stress. Once an insurance company, this happens all the time. Dr. Kotler, been in practice 15 years. I've never been asked for my notes. I just got asked for my notes. My world is crumbling. I am depressed. I can't practice anymore. I want to sell my practice. See how one little letter from an insurance company could destroy a doctor's life? It's terrible. We deal with it all the time. Don't get caught in the middle. You get caught in the middle, you're going to have problems. Like this doctor had to give back $250,000. He didn't have to give it back. They were requested. Cigna asked for $250,000 back for many reasons here. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 1 was a long one. All right, number 2. Benefits denied because the patient has reached maximum medical improvement. Really? You have to have good fight back letters. And please understand the difference between a treatment plan and a treatment summary. A treatment plan, you're telling the whole story at the beginning of care. A treatment summary, you're telling the whole story after the care has been delivered. Big difference. So make sure you have good letters, good fight back letters. This is a fight back letter when an insurance company says, oh, we are not paying because we don't think the care is medically necessary. So we have a very good detailed letter on how to prove that the care was medically necessary. Number 3, the service is denied because it was incidental to the major service rendered. Again, you're probably going to go, what? All the other companies pay me. Why isn't this one? Need to have good fight back letters. One of the more common bundles of services is an exam and an adjustment on the same day. We have an amazing fight back letter. We have a whole bunch of forms, letters, templates. Number 4. Payment will be considered upon review of the chart notes. Uh-oh, chart notes? Okay, so the insurance company is saying, we're not paying you until we see the notes. Now with PI, you know what to do. You're sending the notes with the bills, but regular insurance, you get this letter, you're going to have some problems. So now this doctor got a letter. I'm sharing a lot of things with you because I know this is what resonates with the doctors. We've done surveys. We know what works. We have it all figured out. We've been doing this 14 years. We have it down to a science. We know what works. So this is a letter that a doctor got, and we're helping him a lot. We've saved him thousands of dollars. And he sent in his notes, and they said, oh, there's no signatures. There's no plan of care. Some members indicate treatment for years of the same treatment without improvement. See, they're accusing you. This is a letter from an insurance company, and this is coast to coast. This is Blue Cross Blue Shield of New York. This one here is from Blue Cross Blue Shield of California, and they're basically saying you did things wrong. They're pointing a finger at you. They're saying here, the medical records we reviewed did not contain a treatment plan. The records do not state how the therapeutic exercises were performed, the start and stop times for these exercises, or how the exercises were tolerated by the treatment. So now some of you might say, wait a second, we're supposed to put in the start and stop time for all the therapies? No, not saying that. This is a specific situation. All right. I have 15 of these, so I'm only up to number 5. So I'm trying to go a little faster here. If you have questions, feel free to contact us. Here, the service is denied because it is included in the contractual obligation, and the patient may not be billed for the service. See, we review thousands and thousands of EOBs here at Target Coding. We have staff members that scrub EOBs all the time. I've taken some of the most common denials, so this is like an in-network, out-of-network situation. And insurance companies, they try and get patients to join or go to doctors that are in the network. So this is what one office told me that they got from a patient. A patient got this in the mail. And it says, hey, why don't you use a par provider? Because if you go to a non-par provider and the charge is $150, you're going to have to pay $114 versus if you go to a par provider, it's only $20. See, so make sure you know the difference between in-network and out-of-network. I'm not telling you to join networks. I'm not telling you to drop out of any networks. That's a business decision you have to make. You want to talk about this in a private consultation? Let us know. Number 6. Benefits are denied because the diagnosis is inconsistent with the procedure. This may have something to do with diagnosis pointing. So what we do is we teach doctors how to, and I have a book on this, so it's pretty simple in my opinion. You need to code pair. So for example, I have a picture of a wine and food there. I love going to wine and food festivals. I love learning how to combine wine and food for that maximum culinary experience. I find it interesting and I enjoy it. So what I've done is I've become a coding expert as far as pairing. Like you've heard of a sommelier, pairs wine and food. I'm a coding sommelier. So here, you have a patient where you've come up with a diagnosis of cervical radiculopathy, pairs beautifully with mechanical traction. Yeah, sommelier. That's a wine and food pairing expert, a master. I am a wine and food. No, I am not a wine and food pair. I am a coding sommelier. I'll show you how to pair your codes so you could maximize reimbursement, get paid without denials. Here's another one. Patient has myofascial pain. That pairs beautiful with myofascial release, 97140. Number 7. Benefits are denied because the diagnosis is not substantiated in the patient records. Yeah, I was just reviewing a doctor's notes yesterday. He was audited by a very, very large carrier in the Pittsburgh area. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, you probably know who I'm talking about. This doctor got requested for a bunch of records, actually more than is normal. So, reviewing the records, he used a diagnosis of stenosis. I said, Doc, you have an MRI? He said, no. He didn't even know that stenosis requires that. So, get educated on some of the most common ones, like a sacroiliac sprain. How do you justify this diagnosis? Got to write down. I palpated the SI joints. I found tenderness. You see, this is where my 16 years of chiropractic experience in the trenches treating patients is now very helpful when I'm educating my clients on proper billing and coding. I teach doctors a little bit of clinical. I'm not the clinical expert. I am the coding guru. I am the compliance expert, but I like to throw in a little clinical stuff. So I teach doctors. I have about 25 of the most common diagnosis codes used in chiropractic practice and how to substantiate it. So with sacroiliac joint problems, write down that you palpated the SI joint. You have to do Yeoman's or Ganslin's. You have to do a couple of ortho tests, or else you could have problems in a malpractice case. There's tenderness, there's restricted motion, there's subluxation. What about cervical radiculopathy? You can't just randomly, patient has pain in the neck and down the arm, cervical radiculopathy. It's not going to work. It looks unprofessional. All it takes is one patient to make your life miserable. In a malpractice case, a disgruntled employee quits and reports you to the insurance company because they say, this doctor uses the same diagnosis code all the time. Now, these situations that I'm sharing with you, these are real situations. I'm not making any of this stuff up. Doing this for 14 years, you get to learn a lot. You get to be part of a lot of stories, and it's important for those of you that are not part of the target coding family to understand. What we do is we just pass on all the knowledge to you from all the other doctors. It's almost like a shared family of information. We get stuff from a client that looks weird. We share it with all the doctors in our network. It helps prevent problems. It's a good thing to be part of. Now, if you don't want to join our group, that's fine. Join another group that can share these things with you. So you're going to diagnose a patient with cervical radiculopathy? You better do some little compression, Valsalva. You have to do these things, or else you're risking. You're a risk taker? Okay, so maybe you're a risk taker. The speed limit is 70 on the highway, and you drive 80, 90, 100. That's fine. You're not a candidate for our program. You know when you'll be a candidate? When you get pulled over and you're asked back for $100,000 because you're for billing fraudulently. That's when you're going to contact us. You don't want to do that. You want to be proactive. Check reflexes with cervical radiculopathy. Yeah, here's an excerpt of. I wrote a book. I have a book. It's been one of our best-selling products for years. And here's one page out of the book. If you look here, you look it down at the bottom. If you diagnose a patient with cervical brachial syndrome, you have to do Wright's or Atson's, check a couple of for myotomal weakness. You don't have a choice. If you don't do it, you're not, if you went to a doctor, let's say you went to a cardiologist with chest pain, and the doctor was looking in your throat and said, you're fine, you would be weirded out by that doctor. The doctor did not perform a proper evaluation and come up with an impression as to what's going on, right? You would think less of that doctor. You don't want to be thought less of. You want to do and these are all basic things that they taught in chiropractic college. Procedure number 8. Procedure is denied because it is not typically performed on the same date of service as the other billed procedure. Oh boy, the CCI edits. This affects every chiropractic practice, billing, insurance. I don't care where you are. We just got a client from Anchorage, Alaska. He's dealing with the same nonsense that you're dealing with, CCI edits. It's mostly about the 140, the 124, and the 112. So can't do those in the same anatomic site as the adjustment. You should all know that. Those of you listening to this, if you're hearing this for the first time, you're either brand new in chiropractic billing and coding like you just started a month ago, or you are one of those doctors that don't go to any state association meetings, you don't leave your office you don't talk to any of the chiropractors, so you have to know this, right? The CCI edits. Next, number 9, missing or invalid modifier. Yeah, this is a tough one because these are the most common modifiers here. You may get denied. Invalid modifier, missing modifier, too many modifiers, not enough modifiers. We get this call all the time. Dr. Kotler, what do we do? Well, you're using the wrong modifier. That's why. Or you didn't add the right modifier. It's usually a simple fix. So these are the most common chiropractic modifiers. Hopefully you know all of these. We will be doing a free webinar on modifiers coming up. Check our schedule, but the 59 is probably the one that causes the most problems. Make sure you're using it properly. This is the most commonly misused modifier in chiropractic. I was just looking last week. A doctor sends me his claims, and it's not even for the 59 issue. It was not because of that. It was because of some other reason, and I'm looking at his notes, and and his claims, the 59 is on the hot packs. Why are you using 59 on a hot pack? And that raises your rate of 59 use. And that's where things can get ugly. You'll get put on a prepayment audit. You just won't get paid. It's one of those rare, modifier 59 is one of those rare modifiers that bypass the CCI edits. So you might have to start using the XS modifier. This modifier is taking over the 59. You'll see soon you won't be using 59. You'll be using XS. Just got to give it a few more years. Number 10, the charges were applied to the deductible and therefore payment cannot be made. Okay, the deductible. A lot of doctors are losing money because They're not collecting the deductible. Staff members are not collecting the deductible, or they're just not aware that there is a deductible. Or they tell the patient there's a deductible, and then things get lost in translation, and the patient gets 6, 8 visits. They stop coming in. You bill the insurance. You get nothing because it all went towards the deductible, and now you got to go chase the patient. No chasing. That's one of the first things we tell our CAs when we're going through their CA boot camp training with us. No chasing of patients. You've got to set the tone right in the beginning. There's nothing wrong with it. You could be very professional, stern, and people will still come to you. It's not about a popularity contest. I learned that very quickly in practice. Patients used to come in and say, Dr. Kotler, we love coming in here. We don't know what we would do without you. We love coming in. And then I told the patient, well, your insurance ran out. Now you have to pay. Oh, we're not coming in anymore. What? You don't love me? Oh, we still love you, but we're not coming in. Right? I'm sure many of you could relate to that. You have to collect the deductible. You have to collect co-insurance. You have to collect the copay. And it's not just about, if I don't collect the deductible, that increases the chance of the patient coming in. Yeah, but that's also fraud. That's a violation of the anti-kickback statute. You ever hear that? The anti-kickback statute and the False Claims Act, those two terms should scare you. That's what you're doing by waiving the copays and deductibles. This doctor got lucky. The purpose of this letter is to educate you and inform you that our office received a complaint alleging that you knowingly processed Medicare claims as if the patient is paying their copay, but the patients are not. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, this one. Doctor was asked for records plus copies of the patient billing and collection letters, documents that show when the bills were sent to the patient, if any, and how much was paid by the patient. Okay, so this doctor calls me, he's like, Dr. Kotler, I don't collect the copays or deductibles, and now the insurance company wants proof that I collect copays and deductibles. What do I do? What you need to do is start working on a negotiation. I could help you with that, but you'll also need an attorney. So Cigna wants $300,000 back. They call it fee forgiveness. Fee forgiveness. That means you're forgiving the patient for paying their copays. Don't do that. Why? Have them pay something. This doctor here, Aetna, after contacting some of your patients, it has come to our attention that you routinely waive all patient responsibilities. Oh, that hurts. Here's another one. Send us proof of the copayments. All right, number 11. The charges are denied because they were previously considered staff training. See, what we want to do is turn your CAs, and some of you doctors, you don't have CAs. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay. We have quite a few clients. They don't have staff. Small practices, that's fine. I have some clients. They don't have any I have one client. He doesn't have a CA. He's in practice like 15 years. He's a millionaire. He just bought a house for almost $1 million. No CAs. That's the way he wants to practice. That's what works for him. It's doing very, very, very well. And then I have other doctors that have 12 CAs and they're not making any money. So you want to train your CAs, if you have them, to be 10th degree black belts in insurance billing, coding, and collections. That's what we say to our CAs when we're training them. We're going to turn you into a 10th degree black belt. But this one here, charges were denied. It's because this was a duplicate. The staff was sending in duplicate claims. Number 12. Payment for services were included in the procedure. Oh, can you charge the patient? So you're in network. Okay, a lot of you listening to this are in network, right? And now you want to perform a service that's not covered in this in-network agreement that you have. Have the patient sign a form. Some of these in-network plans, they give you the form. Some you need to create one on your own. Have a good one. Here, this is one of our forms. This is a patient acknowledgement form for non-covered services. It basically says your health plan will pay us for covered services. You're responsible for co-payments and deductibles. However, there are certain services that are not covered by your plan, like maintenance care and massage and wellness care and laser and vitamins, and you're responsible to pay. So simple. Patient signs it. You want to give them a copy? I'm telling you, all these little things adds up to thousands and thousands of dollars every year. Just listening to this, you're going to make more money. I'm telling you, those of you listening to this webinar, you pick up a little thing here and there, you're going to make the doctor more money. If you're a staff person, doctors, explain this to your CAs. Number 13, missing qualifiers. Yeah, this one is not that common. When the new 1500 form came out a few years ago, this was a big deal. It's not a big deal. You have to use 431 in box 14. Box 15, you probably should leave blank, but if you're denied, very rare does this happen. I don't like to bring up a lot of rare ones. The ones up until now were pretty common. This one is rare. But if you're hassled because you didn't fill out box 15 properly, it's because you're not, doing it right. It's 454, initial treatment. The others just don't make sense. 17, you may need to, if you're billing consultation codes, which some of you are missing out on the consultation codes, which pay pretty well. You need to put in the doctor that referred you the patient in 17 and that doctor's NPI number in 17B. Number 14, incorrect diagnosis codes. Box 21. Yeah, box 21 is probably the most important box on the claim form. There's 12 spaces. Believe it or not, there are some offices that think there's still only 4 spaces in box 21 for diagnosis codes. I'm shocked. I don't know where some of these doctors and staff members have been. Maybe, hiding somewhere. I talk to doctors and staff members, they go, oh, well, there's only room for 4 diagnosis codes on the claim. Wow, where have you been? There's 12. One of the problems with box 21, this is, this shouldn't be a problem anymore because this came out like 7 months ago. Every October 1st, the ICD-10 codes get updated. So this was the major update with the myalgia code. So make sure you know there's 5 digits now for myalgia. Back to code pairing, the myofascial pain, right? So the patient has myofascial pain in the cervical region. That's M7912. That pairs beautifully with manual therapy, deep soft tissue mobilization, or myofascial release. Yeah, there I am again. I'm your coding sommelier. Shoulder stiffness, therapeutic exercises. Number 15, incorrect NPI number. Yeah, that could be a problem. Who's in network? Who's out of network? Yeah, this is one. Be careful with this. The owner of the doctor is out of network. The owner of the facility wants more new patients. So the owner decides, I'm going to go hire an associate chiropractor that's in network. So now patients will come in because they'll see the associate doctor is in network through the provider directory online when they call. And when they come in, we're just going to do a little bait and switch, and we're going to have the patient see the owner doctor, or we're just going to bill out under the owner doctor, even though the in-network doctor is seeing the patient. What? That's crazy. I'm working with 3 doctors right now. I'm working with the associate doctors that didn't even know this was happening. And now the associate doctor has to now sue the owner, for this mess that has occurred. So case number 1, the owner doc is out of network. The owner doctor hires an in-network associate. The out of network pays better. The associate DC is treating the patient. Whose name is in 24J? It's got to be the in-network doctor. Whose name is in 31? Should be the in-network doctor. Whose tax ID is in box 25? Case number 2, the owner doctor is in network, but hires an out-of-network associate doctor because out-of-network pays better. The associate DC is treating the patient. Whose name is in 24J? I'm sorry, whose NPI number is in 24J? These are the things that you need to be very careful with. The most recent case, the insurance company found out about this, that the associate doctor who's in network was working for an out-of-network doctor, and all the claims were getting billed out as out-of-network. This associate doctor is the insurance company is saying, we're going to be reporting you to the state board because of this illegal activity that's going on. Not fun, not fun. These are the horror stories that we deal with here at Target Coding all the time. You would find it amazing. I mean, if these horror stories intrigue you, you would have a great time working for Target Coding because we have these horror stories coming in all the time. We just got one yesterday, a doctor from New Jersey. Boy, this is going to be a big one, is being audited because of the way he was bouncing patients back and forth. Every patient would see the medical doctor, then the medical doctor would refer to the PT, then the PT would refer to the chiro refer to the acupuncturist. Every single patient is getting treated that way. It's cookie cutter. And he's been doing this on thousands of patients, and now he's under investigation. This is going to be a big one. I'll give you the results in a future webinar. But yeah, I mentioned my forms, logs, templates. So we, I've written, I don't know, I've probably, in 14 years, I've probably put together probably like 500 forms. But I've taken my 75 best, my greatest hits, and we sell them in Word. You could have them emailed to you today in Microsoft Word. So simple. I don't care if you have ChiroTouch, ACOM, Eclipse, Genesis. You still need certain forms. You still need fight back letters. If you're denied for a claim, they're not built into ChiroTouch or ACOM. Just a few months ago, a client of mine calls up and says, a patient of mine needs a letter of medical necessity for a stand-up desk. You've heard of, you've seen those Vara desks, those, so you're at work, you don't have to sit, right? So, okay, I put together a sample letter of medical necessity for a stand-up desk, gave it to the client gave it to the patient, insurance paid. Another client gave that to an employee, a patient, and the company paid for the desk, but needed a letter of medical necessity. So I had, ChiroTouch, ACOM, Eclipse, ChiroWrite, WritePad, PracticeView, none of them come with these letters of medical necessity built in. So we put together, it's not that much. I think these it's $200, something like that, and you get all these forms. You get 23 HIPAA forms. You get a whole bunch of sample soap notes. You get exams and treatment plans already filled out, personal injury initial report, a PI final report, a radiology report. An attorney says, we want records, right? Wait, you should send a letter saying, well, before we send you the records, we want to get paid. Insurance verification form, consent to treat minor. These are all financial administrative forms, new patient forms. We threw in a few PT forms, acupuncture forms, all the ABN forms, all the main Medicare forms. It's all ready for you right now. So I want to close by going over my 9-step action plan. Step 1, you need to get proactive. Nowadays, you can't be lazy. You can't sit back. Times have changed, and things are going to get tighter. More and more insurance companies are going to be paying you less. You have to take advantage of getting all these things and collecting every penny. You should get paid, right? Why should you get paid for what you do? I always ask this question at seminars. I shock people when I do my seminars. I go, hey, everybody, it's a good idea to get paid, right? You should get paid, right? Why? Why should you get paid for what you do? Why? Nobody could answer this question. It's a simple answer, because you deserve to get paid for what you do. Get proactive. Don't wait for the oil light to flash on the dashboard. Get out of the car, open the hood, check the oil. Step 2, staff, you better make sure all the new patients sign all the forms completely. I have one client right now, we're firing the front desk CA because every time a patient comes in, they're not filling out the forms. They're not signing the forms. They're not saying when the condition started. There's a very simple question. One of the most important questions on your new patient intake form is, when did the condition start? If that's left blank and it doesn't make sense with the services you're about to provide, for example, a back brace or a TENS machine, there are certain things that are dependent upon how long the patient has had the problem. So, staff members, better make sure, if those of you that are members of Target Coding and you're a staff member in one of those offices, you're not getting this done, I'm going to recommend to the owner of the practice that you get a verbal warning first, and then if you continue to do it, this is the way we teach it. Staff member then gets a written warning, and then the third, it's grounds for immediate termination. You're not messing around. You're running a business. It's very simple. front desk receptionist, you're going to give the patient forms. After they fill them out, review them, look at them, make sure they're completely filled out. If not, just give it back to the patient and tell them to fill it out. If the patient can't fill it out, that's fine. Then tell the doctor, doctor, patient couldn't fill this out, and the doctor knows what to do. Step 3, review the doctors. You have to review all the paperwork prior to the consultation. Step 4, I mentioned this, review the policies from the insurance companies you bill. Step 5, understand the what and the why. Your CPT codes are what you're doing, a chiropractic adjustment, right? Your ICD-10 codes are why you're doing them. The patient has a subluxation. You see, that's an easy connection. Make sure they're correct and justify medical necessity, or else you're giving money back. For example, you'll get audited if you're 97110. If you're billing 97110 and the patient doesn't display any functional deficits. Step 6, do a self-test on your notes. Can you do that? Do you know how to do a self-test? If not, get somebody to do it for you. Hire a certified coder. Don't hire a friend. Don't hire a staff person. Hire somebody that is certified in billing and coding. Now, what's unique about me, let me share this. Most chiropractors are not certified coders. Most certified coders are not chiropractors. Try and find a chiropractor that's certified in coding to look at your notes. To me, that's your best bet. Next, step 7. Attend seminars, attend webinars. Always be a sponge. Always keep learning on how to help more patients. Step 8, this is becoming more and more important because of the staff turnover and the disgruntled staff members that I hear about all the time. You need to put together a simple billing and coding policy manual that explains what you do, why you do it, so you can't have a disgruntled CA report you to the board because you got everything in a manual. This is how you do it. This is your playbook. Step 9, conduct regular meetings with your staff, especially the ones that are doing your billing. Also, if you're using a billing company, do a spot check. Working with 2 offices right now, being audited. The billing company was adding modifiers, upcoding. The doctor didn't even know until the audit letter came in the mail. Do this so you could SWAN. You know what SWAN is? That's my favorite acronym, sleep well at night. So I just want to thank everybody for attending. Here's my contact information. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We're always offering specials. We just did a special the other day. If you didn't see it, sorry, you missed out. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube channel. We have a whole bunch of free videos. And contact us. Just email us for a free consultation. It's no charge. Put the whole office on the phone. I just did one last week. The doctor said, hey, we have a few questions. We want to get, the whole office, 7 CAs. We're on a conference call, just blasting me with questions for 15 minutes, no charge. All right, so let's see what questions have come in. Oh, by the way, we also do seminars. We have a whole bunch of seminars coming up. Oh, let me show you. Let me take you to the Target Coding website before we get to Q&A. Here, we have a whole bunch of seminars coming up. If you're in the New Jersey area, Atlantic City coming up, Boca Raton, you want to get out of the cold wherever you're at. If it's cold, I don't know, by June it might not be cold anywhere, but we'll be in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, New Jersey, mostly New Jersey, New York, Florida for the next few months. We also, this is our services page, so if you're interested in becoming a member, we have something called our basic membership, unlimited Q&A. I'll zoom in on this so you could see this. Unlimited Q&A. Questions answered within 24 to 48 hours, weekly webinars, monthly videos, news alerts, no contract, just pay as you go. And then we have our silver membership. You have 3 choices, basic, silver, gold. Silver takes you to a whole nother level. You get access to the member-only section of the website. We have over 20 videos in there right now. You get our book on the best codes to reimbursement. You get all of our forms that I mentioned. So the silver membership is a 12-month agreement. And then we have the gold membership. Comprehensive review, that's the big difference here. We dig in, you send us your notes, your claims, your bills, your forms, and we scrub them. And then you also get a billing and coding manual. Oh, I forgot. We included that with the gold membership right there. You get a billing and coding manual. You can come to all of our seminars for free. Then we have our integration membership here. So I wanted to show you, if you click on the YouTube button on our, I'll show you here on the Target Coding homepage. Right here's a little YouTube icon. Just click on that and you'll see all of our videos. Look at all these videos. These are all free. Okay, let's take a look and see what questions have come in.